Very good morning to everyone. In this session, we are going to discuss about decision control statements. So, the control statement it determines the control flow of a set of instructions. So, it decides instruction in a program that what will be the next sequence or what need to be executed next based upon the condition which we are giving. So here we have totally three types of control statements. One is sequential control, selection control, and iterative control. So sequential control, a Python program is executes sequentially from the first line of the program to till the last line. And selection control, it executes only the selected set of statements. Whereas the iterative control is to execute the set of statements repeatedly. So the first is the if statement. So the syntax for the if statement is if a keyword precedes first. After that, we need to specify the condition, that is the test expression, colon. After that, when we press enter, it will be creating the indent space. After that, we need to specify the statements which need to be executed in the if block. So after that, whatever the statements which are specifying inside the if block, and then next coming out from the if block, again we need to start from the corner onwards, from the left corner onwards, that is the statement x we need to specify. So after the if condition is getting failed, then the statement x will be precedes. So this is about the flow chart of executing your if loop. So a test expression, if the condition is true, then the statement block 1 will be executed, and then after that, when the condition is getting failed, then directly it will be going to the statement next to print. So this is an example for the if statement they have given. So we are initializing x equal to 10, and in the if loop, if x is greater than 0, then the loop will be getting executed. That is x equal to x plus 1. We are assigning the x as 10, that need to be added with plus 1, and then the new value will be as 11. So that will be your new x value. So again it continues with the if loop until the condition is getting failed, it will be executing. So it means up to that, the value which you will be getting is the first time. So here we have just given only one time, that is x equal to x plus 1 we have given. So if you have any counter variable, then the loop will be keep on incrementing. So here the first time the loop will be executing as x equal to 10 plus 1, that is x equal to 11. So again when we go with the condition, that is with the if loop, if 11 is greater than 0, that is again the condition will be as true. Okay, so but here no increment operation we have specified, so only one time it executes and start to print that x value alone, that is 11 will be printed. And then the if else, in the if else part, if and then the condition we need to specify, and then the statement block, the true statement block of if loop. So again if the condition is failed in the if case, then the else part will be executed. So in the else part, the statement 2 will be executed. So after that, if any of this cases, that is if else part is also is not satisfied, then the then what it will be doing is, then automatically it starts to execute the statement x. That is, if the condition is true, then the statement block 1, after that it comes to the statement x directly. Or else if the if condition is getting failed, then it executes the else part. After that the statement x will be preceded. So that is in the flow chart they have mentioned. If the test condition is true, statement block 1 will be executed, or if it is false, then statement block 2 will be executed. Any of one should be executed. After that, statement x should be executed. So here I have given an example about how to test a person who is eligible to vote or not. So I am just getting a age from the user at the runtime using int input of, and then I am testing using an if loop. If age is greater than or equal to 18, so if it is greater than or equal to 18, then we need to print the age as, that is he is eligible to vote. Else we need to specify the statement, how many years he need to wait. I'm just specifying the statement as years is equal to 18 minus of age. So at last, when I'm getting the age as an input, for example, if you are getting the input as age as 18 from the user, then if 18 greater than or equal to 18, then you are eligible to vote, like that it will be printing. So the next part is nested if statements. So the nested if statement is the statements, what we used to have is, we used to have a multiple condition to check. So if the first set of if statement is getting failed, then it moves to the next if statement, that is using elif part. Again if that particular condition is getting failed, again it moves to the next elif part to check with the condition. So this is a nested if statement. So here I'm just going to check the number is in between the range of 0 to 10, and then 10 and 20, and then from 20 to 10 30. So for this I have specified a condition. So I am getting the input, integer input from the user at the runtime using a variable num. So after that I am just checking that num value is greater than or equal to 0, and num is less than 10. So if the number is between 0 to 9, then you should be in the range of 0 to 10. So likewise, if I am giving the number to be as greater than 11, so obviously the first condition will be failed. In the second condition, well, 11 is greater than or equal to 10, and 11 is less than 20. Obviously the condition is true, then it will be printing as it is a range of 10 to 20. So likewise, when we give the numbers in between from 20 to 29, then the third condition will be satisfied. The rest of the first two will be getting failed. Directly it comes to check with the a third condition, that is after the condition of checking the first two condition statements have been failed, then the third block statement will be checked for the test condition. So then it will be printing the corresponding message which is specified in the print statement. So the next is if, elif, and then else statement. So the same thing, if we need to check with the multiple conditions of if and then with the elif part. So if any of the thing is conditions not matched, then obviously it will be printing the message which is specified in the else part. So that is happening here. So here I am just getting a number, and then using the if loop I am checking that number is equal to 0. If it is equal to 0, it prints a message as value is equal to 0. So if it is greater than 0, then the number is positive. Else, if you are giving any negative number, the first condition also failed, the second condition also failed. Obviously, the else part, it prints as the number is negative. So this is a flow diagram or the flow chart. So checks the condition. The condition is true, statement block 1 will be executed. After that, statement block y will be executed. So if the condition is false, then again the next condition will be checking. So there statement block 2 will be executed. Again if it is false, then statement block 6 will be executed, continuing with the statement block y. So the next is of while loop. So the while loop is so this is also the decision control loop. So this is also what we used to do is initially for the while loop to execute it, we used to have a counter variable. So the counter variable should be declared before it. So that is a statement we are specifying here. After that, while is a keyword, and then we need to specify the condition. So after specifying the condition, if the condition is true, then the statement will be executed. After that, up to that, the while statement will be keep on executed. When the condition is getting failed, obviously statement y will be executed. So this is the flowchart for the while loop. And then here it gives an example about how to print the numbers from 0 to till 10. So initially I am assigning I equal to 0, and then from 0 to till 10, the condition will be keep on iterating over the while loop. After that, to iterate over the while loop, I am just giving as I equal to I plus 1 to increment I. So on each time after printing the current I value, I will be getting incremented, and then again it goes to check with the while loop. So it happens up to the while condition is 10. So when the value is of 11, the condition will be getting failed. So here the next thing is about the for loop. So in the for loop, mainly it used to perform the repeated task until the condition is true, that is it will be iterating over the loop. So here in the Python what we used to give for the for loop is the syntax is for and then the loop variable and then in the keyword, and then we need to specify the sequence. So after that the colon symbol, when we press enter, the indent space will be created, and then statement block we need to specify it. So inside that we need to give the, so here this is about the flowchart for the Python. So we need to specify the range, that is the n value. So after that we need to check the condition by using the for loop. If the condition is true, then the statement block will be executed. If the condition is false, again it goes to check with the condition. So after that the statement y will be printed. After executing the true statement, the statement y will be printed. So next, for loop and range function. So usually the range function is a built-in function in the Python. It is used to iterate over the sequence numbers. The syntax for range is that we used to specify the range function with the beginning where we need to begin the loop, and then where we need to end, and then how many times it need to increment, we need to specify a step. So for in default case it will be incremented by 1 if you are not specifying beginning, end or step. If you just specify the range alone, then it will be incremented by 1 defaultly. So and then here I'm just going to print the numbers from 1 to 4. So this is the beginning and this is an end. So beginning start with 1 and ending is 5, which means not which means that it won't print 5 before that the value will be printed. So up to 4 it will be printed. So for each time the I value of the current I value will be printed, and then it will increment by 1. So after that again 4 in range of 5, again the condition is true, that is the first time when it is executing it start with I equal to 1. So 1 is in the range of 5, then it prints the value of 1, and then one space will be given. After that I is incremented. So 2 in range of 5, condition is true. So the 2 is printed along with that one space. After that again it increments the I. 3 in range of 5. So again 3 is printed. Again I is incremented. 4 in range of 5. Again the condition is true. 4 will be printed. When it comes with 5, the loop will be getting failed. So up to that the values will be printed. So when we need to proceed with the step function, here I have just given us 1 to be begin with the loop, and then it need to be end with 10, and then the step function to be incremented by 2. So when the value of I is printed as 1, then it will be incremented by 2. So the next I value will be as it will be incremented by 2. So 3 will be there. So again 3 in range of 10, the condition is true. Again the value of 3 will be printed. So likewise the loop will be continued up to the value of 9, it will be continuing. When it is of 10, the condition will be getting failed. So you should remember that the step function is the how much time you are going to increment, we need to specify the value here. So the next thing is if you directly specify the range, then it is quite interesting that it is up to the value which you are giving is just before that value it will be printing starting from 0. If you are giving us 10 in the sense means for I in range of 10, then from 0 to 9 it will be printing. And then if you are giving the starting and then ending value, then from 1, here I have given us 1 is the beginning and then ending is 15, then up to it end with 14, from 1 to 14. And then here 1, 20 and then 3, beginning, ending, and then it need to increment by 3. So starting with 1, it increments by 3. So 1, after that 4 will be printed. Again after incrementing with 3, 7 will be printed. So up to the value of 19 it will be printing. So this is about the range function. So here they just specify the condition control and then counter controlled statements. Using the while loop they have specified it. So just we are assigning the value to the variable, and then we are checking it by using the while loop, and then we have a counter variable to increment it. After that it will be iterating over to the while loop. The same thing happens here. So again we are assigning the counter variable the value, we are checking the condition, and then we are incrementing it. So inside that we have the another test condition to test it. So if your I value is of 10, then automatically your loop will be getting breaked. So the nested loop is within the for loop we will be having the another for loop, so that is the nested loops. And the break statement, the work of the break statement is that when we specify the break keyword inside a looping statement, it automatically breaks the control out of the loop. So here if I am giving an example as I equal to 1, I less than or equal to 10, then it prints I value. So when I is of 5, when I equal to 5, the loop will be getting breaked. So each time when it checks the loop, it will be checking with the I value with the 10 is less than or equal to, condition is true, then the I value will be printed. When your I is of 5, then the loop will be getting breaked. So then up to that the value will be getting printed. So this is the condition. While again the if condition, when you are giving break, then it breaks the loop so that it comes out of the loop. So the continue statement, next is the continue statement makes loop to uh, loop to begin with the first condition, and it makes a continuous statement makes to look over to the continuation portion of the loop again. So this is the work of the continuous statement, that is it transfers the control to the condition expression of the for loop. So here when I am giving the example as for I in range of 1 comma 11, beginning with 11 and ending with 1 and ending with 11, if the condition is I equal to 5, then we need to continue, it need to iterate over the loop. So here I am printing the value of the I, so except the value of 5, all the values will be printed up to the value of 10, because here I have given the ending as 11, so the value will be ended up to 10. So the pass statement is, it means that pass statement is of null operations or no operations will be done here. So here when I given as a for loop letter in hello, we just giving as pass. So which it is like no, it means that nothing it will be doing with the corresponding statement. So print pass and then we are printing that letter. So it will be iterating over the loop to print all the letters. So next is else statement with the loop. So we can use the else statement in the for loop also, and then we can use the else statement along with the while loop also. If the condition is true, then the corresponding block of while loop or for loop will be executed. If it is false, then directly else part will be executed. Thank you.